The Santa Isabella was a grand Spanish galleon, its wooden hull adorned with intricate carvings of saints and angels, its sails billowing under the Atlantic winds. The ship was a floating palace, carrying silks, spices, and barrels of the finest wines, bound for New York before its final destination in the New World. Captain Rodrigo Velasco, a seasoned navigator with graying hair and piercing blue eyes, stood on the quarterdeck, his gloved hands gripping the helm. The voyage had been smooth until now, the sea calm, the skies clear. But on the 12th night, something changed. A dense fog rolled in from nowhere, swallowing the horizon. The stars vanished. The moon, once bright, flickered and dimmed as if something was devouring its light. The men murmured among themselves, uneasy whispers filling the deck. Then, from the crow's nest, the lookout shouted. Land ahead. Rodrigo raised his spyglass, scanning the horizon. What he saw should not have been there. An island, dark yet glimmering. It was nowhere on the maps. The shoreline shimmered with gold and jewels, the sand glowing as if mixed with powdered diamonds. Towering trees bore fruits of deep crimson and violet, their vines heavy with exotic flowers. Bonfires flickered in the distance, and beyond them, music, laughter, wine, and gambling halls. Paradise. But Rodrigo felt a chill creeping down his spine. Something about this place, something unseen, something unnatural, called to him. The men, however, saw only wealth. Captain, we must go ashore, cried First Mate Alonso Ruiz, his brown eyes gleaming with greed. A land of gold, a gift from the heavens. The crew cheered. Rodrigo hesitated. Every instinct screamed against it. But how could he stop 50 men drunk on the dream of riches? By dawn, they lowered the rowboats. The beach felt wrong. The sand was too smooth, as if it had never been touched by time. The moment their boots sank into the golden grains, the ship behind them vanished into the mist, as if swallowed whole. Rodrigo spun around, heart pounding. Where's the ship? Alonso whispered. No answer, only the music in the air, distant yet luring, pulling them forward like an invisible hand. A dirt path led them into the dense jungle, where trees twisted unnaturally, their trunks etched with carvings, faces twisted in eternal screams. Still, the men pressed on. Then at last they reached it, the golden city. Marble fountains overflowed with wine, cascading down into silver goblets placed neatly along the stone streets. Silken-clad women lounged on velvet cushions, beckoning with jeweled fingers. The streets were paved with gold coins. Taverns overflowed with roasted meats, pastries, and spirits. Rodrigo's stomach twisted. No flies, no smoke, as if it wasn't real. But Alonso? He laughed, shouted, fell to his knees in praise. The men scattered like starving wolves, running to the tables stacked with treasure, grabbing handfuls of rubies, emeralds, pearls. But Rodrigo? He hesitated. Then he saw them. The people. They weren't moving. The women on the cushions. The men at the gambling tables. The dancers in the square. They weren't breathing. They were too still. Too perfect. And then, one of the sailors, Hector, grabbed a goblet of wine and gulped it down. His eyes widened. He froze in place. His skin hardened like stone, his mouth stuck in a silent scream. Rodrigo staggered back, his breath caught in his throat. Then, the laughter stopped. The music ceased. The golden figures all turned their heads at once. Their eyes were hollow. Rodrigo grabbed his sword, shouting for the men to fall back. Too late. The statues moved. They lunged, grabbing sailors by the throats, pulling them into the banquet halls, where shadows devoured them whole. Screams echoed through the city, drowning in the unholy wind that rose from the sea. Rodrigo turned, Alonso beside him, both sprinting toward the jungle. The path was gone. The jungle had shifted, twisted into a labyrinth of shadows. Run, the trees whispered. No, not the trees. Something inside them. The carvings moved, their twisted faces grinning. A cold hand gripped Rodrigo's shoulder. He spun. Alonso's face was melting. His eyes sank into his skull, his skin peeling away to reveal a dark, writhing mass beneath. Don't leave, Captain, Alonso gurgled, his voice not his own. Rodrigo stabbed his sword through his chest. Black ichor splattered onto the ground. Alonso collapsed but did not die. Rodrigo turned, and there at the edge of the jungle stood a figure, draped in black robes, taller than any man, its face obscured beneath a golden mask. The island's master, the insatiable ghost. Rodrigo felt his breath shatter. You should not have come. The voice was not loud, yet it filled the air. The figure lifted a skeletal hand. The jungle split open, and Rodrigo saw the ship, but it was wrong. The Santa Isabella was no longer made of wood and sails. Its hull was black as obsidian, its sails tattered and dripping with darkness. And on the deck, his crew, but not his men. Their eyes were gone, their mouths twisted in laughter without sound. Their skin was gray and stretched too thin. They raised their hands, beckoning him aboard. Come, Captain. Rodrigo staggered back. He turned to run. The golden hands erupted from the ground, grabbing his legs, his arms, dragging him into the earth. He screamed, but the island swallowed his voice. The Santa Isabella was never seen again, but sailors whispered of a phantom ship drifting through the mist, its deck lined with golden statues of men screaming in agony. A ship that called to those who passed, its captain still at the helm. His eyes lost to the abyss, his hands gripping a wheel that no longer obeyed the laws of men. And somewhere in the fog, the golden island waited. Hungry, always hungry. The end.